All right, study hall listeners, ready for another deep dive. Today, we're going like headfirst into the art world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, into one of the most iconic paintings ever.
Okay, cool.
Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa.
Ooh, mysterious lady.
I mean, you see her everywhere, right? Postcards and like memes and even coffee mugs.
That's too much.
But like, how much do we actually know about her?
Oh.
About the story behind that smile?
Yeah, that's the thing about the Mona Lisa. She's famous, but like also super mysterious.
Right.
Makes her even more captivating, I think.
For sure. So, okay, let's start with the basics.
All right.
Who is this woman?
Right to the point.
Most people think it's Lisa Gherardini.
Wife of a wealthy silk merchant.
Yep, from Florence back in the Renaissance.
And having your portrait painted by someone like Da Vinci.
Oh, yeah.
Huge status symbol back then.
Like the influencer of the day?
Totally. But it wasn't just about showing off. You know, it was about aligning yourself with beauty, intellect.
Like cultural clout.
Exactly. Imagine having a Da Vinci original in your living room. Oh my gosh, I know, right?
Ultimate conversation starter.
Totally.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets a little weird.
Hey.
Leonardo never actually gave the painting to the family.
What?
Yeah, he kept refining it for years,
Huh.
even after he moved to France. So it makes you think, like,
Yeah, was she really the intended subject?
what if there's something more to the story?
Ooh, a hidden message or something?
Some people think she was like a stand-in for a secret love.
Or maybe like an idealized version of beauty, you know?
Oh, like a Renaissance Venus?
Exactly. Or how about this? The Mona Lisa is actually a self-portrait
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
of Leonardo dressed as a woman.
Wait, a self-portrait?
I know, right?
I mean, if you like squint, I guess, maybe. But come on, probably not.
Probably not, but it's fun to think about.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, does it even matter who she really was?
Good point. Does the mystery make it even better?
Right.
Maybe not knowing is part of the appeal.
Totally. It's like she's looking right at us, like asking us to figure it out.
Challenging us. But you know, speaking of mysteries, let's talk about the man himself.
Da Vinci, the legend.
Leonardo da Vinci. This guy wasn't just a painter.
Oh, he was so much more.
He was like a full-blown Renaissance rock star.
Totally, a scientist, inventor, engineer.
Like the ultimate multi-talented overachiever.
Is there anything this guy couldn't do?
Seriously. And we're not talking about like dabbling either.
No way, his notebooks are legendary.
Filled with inventions that were like centuries ahead of their time.
Flying machines, war machines, you name it.
He was obsessed with understanding like how everything worked.
And his art was a huge part of that.
See, this is what I love about art history.
What's that?
You start digging into one painting,
Yeah.
and suddenly you're like down this rabbit hole of crazy facts.
Oh, wow, it's amazing.
Like Leonardo's brain was always making these connections between art, science, and nature.
All coming together in the Mona Lisa.
Right, you could see the way he uses light and shadow.
Creating this depth and realism that was groundbreaking back then.
He was a master of all these techniques.
Sfumato, chiaroscuro, atmos-pheric perspective.
Okay, hold on. Those are some fancy art words.
I know, right? But they're not as complicated as they sound.
Break it down for us.
So, like, imagine a photo that's a little bit blurry.
Okay, yeah.
Sfumato is kind of like that.
Huh?
Leonardo used it to soften the edges of her face, you know,
Okay.
especially around her eyes and mouth.
So that's why she looks kind of hazy.
Exactly. It creates this mysterious effect.
Like her features change depending on how you look at her?
Like an optical illusion.
Whoa, trippy.
And then you've got chiaroscuro.
Which is?
It's all about the contrast between light and dark.
Yeah.
It gives the Mona Lisa that three-dimensional quality.
Like she's coming out of the shadows.
Exactly.
Okay, and what about atmospheric perspective?
That's how he creates the illusion of depth.
Oh.
By making distant objects look hazy and less defined.
So that's why the landscape behind her kind of fades away.
It gives the whole painting this dreamy quality.
It's like he's hacking our brains to create this magical effect.
Pretty much he was a genius.
No wonder people are still so obsessed with the Mona Lisa after all this time.
I know, right?
And you know what else is genius?
What's that?
That smile.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, is she happy? Sad?
Knowing something we don't.
It's like it's been captivating people for centuries.
And that's where the sfumato comes in again.
How so?
Because the edges of her lips are so soft,
Yeah.
they seem to change depending on where you look.
Oh, really?
Scientists have found that her smile is actually more apparent in our peripheral vision.
Wait, so you're telling me Leonardo was messing with our minds like 500 years ago?
Pretty much.
That's insane. But seriously, what do you think he was going for with that smile?
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I guess so.
Was he trying to capture a fleeting emotion or something more universal? Like a reflection of how complex humans are.
We might never know for sure.
And I think that's part of what makes the Mona Lisa so fascinating.
It's like she's having this silent conversation with everyone who looks at her.
Inviting us to come up with our own answers.
I think I need a minute to process all of this.
That's understandable.
But stick with us, because when we come back, we're going to dive even deeper
Oh, yeah.
into the secrets hidden in that landscape behind her.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's do it. All right, we're back and ready to uncover more about Mona Lisa.
More to discover for sure.
Before the break, we were talking about Leonardo's, crazy genius.
Oh, yeah, all those techniques.
Yeah, he was like a master illusionist playing with light and shadow.
Making us question what we see.
Exactly. But there's this whole other part of the painting we haven't talked about yet.
Oh, you mean?
The landscape behind Mona Lisa.
Ah, yes. The backdrop.
It's not just some random background, right?
Definitely, some art historians think it's super symbolic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a representation of the human journey, all those twists and turns.
Huh. Okay, I'm listening.
Well, first you've got that incredible depth.
Yeah, it feels like you could just walk right in.
Exactly, and that's because of atmospheric perspective.
Right, we talked about that before.
Leonardo knew that things look less clear the further away they are.
So we used softer colors for the mountains and stuff?
Exactly, makes them look almost dreamlike.
And there's that bridge in the background.
Oh, yeah, of the mysterious bridge.
Where does it even lead?
We don't know. It's like a visual cliffhanger.
It's kind of like he's teasing us.
Totally. He wants us to use our imagination.
To come up with our own stories.
Exactly. Make the painting our own.
Okay, so we've got mystery symbolism, but let's talk about real-life drama.
Oh, you mean?
The theft.
Ah, yes. The great Mona Lisa heist.
1911, can you imagine? This world-famous painting just disappearing from the Louvre.
It was a huge scandal, front-page news everywhere.
Everyone wanted to find it.
And the thief, Vincenzo Peruggia,
what a name.
he was an Italian patriot, thought the painting belonged in Italy.
So he just snuck in and walked out with it?
Pretty much hid overnight and then took it out under his coat.
Like something out of a movie?
Totally, but here's the crazy part.
What's that?
The theft actually made the Mona Lisa even more famous.
You're kidding?
Nope, suddenly everyone knew about her.
Even people who didn't care about art.
Exactly. It was like instant global recognition.
Talk about accidental marketing.
And her influence goes way beyond just the art world, too.
Oh, yeah, she's a pop culture icon.
Think about all the reinterpretations and parodies.
Mona Lisa with sunglasses, Mona Lisa as a Simpson.
Marcel Duchamp even gave her a mustache.
I've seen that one.
It's called LHOOQ.
Catchy.
And then there's Andy Warhol and his pop art versions.
It's like she belongs to everyone.
Each generation adds their own spin.
And even scientists are getting in on the action.
Oh, yeah, with X-rays and infrared scans.
Trying to see beneath the surface.
They found all sorts of hidden details.
Like what?
Well, for one thing, she might have originally had eyebrows.
No way, seriously.
It seems they faded or were maybe removed during cleaning.
Mona Lisa with eyebrows. I wonder what that looked like.
It's fascinating how technology can reveal these secrets.
Like unlocking hidden layers of the painting.
But even with all that analysis and all the pop culture references,
there's still something so mysterious about her.
Absolutely, we can study the brushstrokes, debate her identity.
But the power of the Mona Lisa is that she goes beyond explanation.
She's an enigma, a mirror reflecting back at us.
It's like she's saying, look closer. There's more to see.
And it's not just about what you see, it's about how you feel.
What you think, what connections you make.
It reminds us that art can be personal and universal at the same time.
I think that's a good point to pause for a second.
Catch your breath.
But don't go anywhere, art fans, because when we come back,
we'll keep exploring this idea of personal connection.
And maybe even uncover a few more of Mona Lisa's secrets.
Sounds good to me.
Welcome back to Study Hall. It's like we're down the rabbit hole with the Mona Lisa.
Deep in the mystery, for sure.
And, before the break, we were talking about
how she connects with us on a personal level.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's more than just looking at a pretty painting.
Right. It's about that spark she ignites.
Spark? That's a good word, because she definitely sparks curiosity and questions.
All those theories about her identity.
That self-portrait one still kind of blows my mind.
I know. It's wild, right?
Like, I keep going back and forth looking at her face. Then Leonardo's.
Yeah, comparing their features.
Remember how we talked about those maybe missing eyebrows?
Oh, yeah. What if she had eyebrows?
Leonardo was known for having some pretty bushy ones himself.
That's interesting.
It's like a giant art history puzzle.
Totally. And if you think about Leonardo's personality.
Yeah, that endless curiosity, always pushing boundaries.
Doesn't it kind of feel like that's reflected in Mona Lisa's smile?
Like she knows something we don't.
Holding back secrets.
It's like he's challenging us to figure it out.
Look closer. Think deeper.
And that's what good art does, right? Makes you think and feel.
Totally. It pushes you to see things in a new way.
It's crazy how a painting from like 500 years ago
Can still be so relevant today.
We've talked about all the ways she stayed in the spotlight.
The theft, the pop culture references.
Even the scientific analysis.
It's like she keeps evolving with the time.
A reflection of each generation that encounters her.
And in today's digital world, that reflection is even more complex.
Oh, yeah.
We've got AI recreating what she might have looked like.
Deepfakes animating her face.
Memes galore.
She's everywhere.
Part of the digital fabric of our lives.
I wonder what Leonardo would think of it all.
You know what? I think he'd be totally into it.
Really?
Remember, this is the guy who was way ahead of his time.
With the flying machines and all that.
I bet he'd be all over the digital world.
Using technology to push the boundaries of art.
Maybe even making his own Mona Lisa memes.
Aha! I'd love to see that.
But jokes aside, it makes you realize that she's more than just a painting.
Yeah, she's an idea, a symbol.
A conversation that never ends.
So the next time you see the Mona Lisa,
Whether it's in person or online.
take a moment to really look at her.
Beyond that famous smile.
Beyond the surface.
What secrets do you see?
What stories does she tell you?
Because she's an invitation.
To a world of wonder and imagination.
And that world is open to all of us.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into art history.
Keep those curious minds buzzing.
And we'll see you next time on Study Hall.